going? I'm Kelsey. I'm a nutritional therapist. I am a paleo chef and baker, and I'm also the author of the new cookbook, Paleo Sweets. Super yummy, paleo-friendly dessert recipes. Ton of goodness in here for you. You are here with me today in my kitchen in Santa Monica, and we are going to talk about 7 healthy snacks that will beat your late night cravings. Now, this topic came to me, I think we can all, we all get it. We've all been there. We've all had those late night munchies. You know, we wait a little bit too long after lunch to eat dinner, and then we don't really want to eat a full meal, or you're like, it's 8 o'clock and I'm hungry, but it's too late to pull out the chicken and broccoli, and that's not exactly what you want anyway. And it came up in a conversation I was having with a recent client who is carrying some excess weight, and she's frustrated by it. And one of the habits we identified is that she noticed that she eats really well throughout the day, and it gets to the end of the day, and that's when she caves in for the ice cream, the milkshake, the chips, the popcorn, the stuff that we all know we shouldn't be eating, but it gives us some sort of comfort. It meets a need that we have in that moment. So I wanted to give you a couple of alternative options today so that you can meet that craving, get what you need, and still stay on track with your healthy paleo diet. Now, a couple of the things that I wanted to talk to you about before we even dive into this is, hi, thanks for joining. Let's see. I can't hear so well. Okay, I'll try to talk a little louder. Hey, that's one thing I'm supposed to check on, is if the volume is working. So one of the things I wanted to cover with you guys is the reason for late night cravings to begin with. Like, why do we get these cravings at the end of the day? And there are definitely at least 3 things, or plenty more than 3 things, but 3 things that we can talk about right now that you can change in your life that'll kind of cut down on the cravings in general. So the first thing that we want to look at is stress. Stress, especially work-related stress, household stress. You're done with a long day at work, you get home, you're trying to cook dinner, you drop something on the floor, the dog threw up, the kids are crying. So there's always something going on, and in those moments we tend to reach for foods that aren't great for us, especially sugar-filled foods, because sugar is kind of an emotional pain reliever. It gives us a hit of dopamine when we eat it. It makes us feel good for just a few seconds, and we all know the downside of that too is you have a massive sugar crash. Sugar can actually cause symptoms like depression. It can make you feel lethargic, so we want to give you some healthy alternatives to that. Other times you might reach for sugar or when you're generally just sleep deprived. Maybe you're staying up too late, and you're trying to crank out those last few paragraphs on the report you have to type up, or maybe it's your kids' report because you're doing their homework or something, who knows. But you're staying up too late, and your body is starting to crave energy. Your body is like, okay, if we're not sleeping, you're going to have to give me something to fuel me through this power session that we're doing. And sugar, your body is so smart. Your body knows that sugar is a quick source of fuel. So your body is going to tell you to reach for whatever, like the Haagen-Dazs ice cream, or whatever, the cakes, the cookies, and that sort of thing. And again, it'll give you an immediate kind of boost of energy, and then you're going to have that crash, and you're going to feel like poop later. And again, it takes you off track. So we'll give you some options, give you some options to help sustain. But at the end of the day, we all need to be getting to bed on time, I myself included. The third reason we can experience late night cravings is because we're not eating enough throughout the day, or you forget to eat dinner. Like maybe you have a late lunch and you're not really hungry at 6 or 7 p.m., but then it gets to be 8 or 9 p.m. and you feel your stomach growling and you're like, oh man, but again, it's too late to reach for the chicken and broccoli or whatever that. So you want to reach for something quick and easy. We don't want to pull out all the pans and make a mess in the kitchen at 9 o'clock at night. So we want to reach for something that'll be filling and satisfy us, but won't fill us up too much. It'll still meet our nutritional needs and keep us on track. So at the end of the day, to eliminate that problem, we need to all just make sure we're eating consistently throughout the day, and make sure your last meal of the day, hopefully it's dinner, hopefully it's between 6 and 8 p.m., fill it with lots of protein and healthy fat. That'll help you avoid the cravings in general. You won't feel as hungry, you'll be able to fall asleep at a normal time, all your needs will be met, and you'll be staying on track with your healthy paleo diet. Okay, So that being said, let's talk about what it's like to be human, because regardless of whether or not we get enough sleep, or we're completely de-stressed, or we're eating all the right foods at the right times, sometimes we still just want a little snack at the end of the day. It's a great way to just hang out and chat with people, your friends, your family. You know, especially, I love snacking when I watch TV or if I'm watching a movie, so I'll show you some of my favorite snacks for those times. But one of the first things that I want to offer you the option of is a great chip replacement. I know sometimes it's easy, especially like, you know, salt and vinegar chips I think are really yummy, but any kind of flavored chip can easily be replaced with Sea Snacks. So this is a package that I grabbed from the local health food store. It's, the particular brand is called Sea Snacks, but what they are, I'm going to open this, is going to get crinkly for a second, if I can figure it out. So Sea Snacks are actually just little sheets of seaweed, but they're seasoned and they're a little bit salty and a little bit crunchy. So this is going to provide a really great source of iodine and healthy sea minerals, a little bit of salt, give you the crunch, and if you know you're not really hungry, but you want that like hand-to-mouth feel, this is a great option because they're relatively low calorie. They do have a little bit of healthy fat in them. These in particular, Sea Snacks brand are made with olive oil, and that's why I love them. They don't have sunflower oil, no vegetable oil, only olive oil, sea salt. Maybe these have wasabi. I like a little bit of spice sometimes, so I grab the wasabi flavor. But super simple, really great. Again, if you just kind of want to be able to munch on something, keep it healthy, and not feel too full at the end of the day, then Sea Snacks or seaweed chips are a really great and interesting idea. You can usually find them at a lot of health food stores, but you can always order them online. And again, Sea Snacks, S-N-A-X, snacks is how they spell it. But alternatively, especially if you have a thyroid problem, I would recommend maybe staying away from the seaweed. It has iodine and that can be irritating sometimes, but you can still make your own homemade chips with healthy vegetables, and healthy oil using a mandolin slicer. So this is a really great thing to invest in. I love making my own homemade sweet potato chips and beet chips, and this makes it super simple. What a mandolin slicer allows you to do is take your vegetable and slice it really thin, uniformly. That has always been my problem when I'm trying to make chips at home and you're using a knife. Some turn out this big, some turn out this big, sometimes they're pretty tapered, a lot of them are pretty tapered. So if you invest in a mandolin slicer, I think it's only about 30 bucks. Again, I bought mine online on Amazon. You can just stick it in the cabinet and you can take this out and you can use it to slice your own beets or sweet potatoes and make your own baked chips in like no time flat. Again, you can just use coconut oil, salt, vegetables, boom, done. And you can choose whatever vegetable you want. So you can have a variety. You don't have to get bored with just buying one kind over and over again. You can make whatever you want. You know, we all love creativity in the kitchen. I love creativity in the kitchen. So that's a great option as well. Another great snack, moving right along, to meet your crunchy, sweet, and salty needs is one of my personal favorites. I actually just grabbed this off the counter right before I shot the video because I was like, oh hey, that's actually something I eat all the time. And these are Dang coconut chips. Again, you can find a lot of brands of coconut chips out there, but this is one that I found. It's just, the ingredients are literally coconut and sea salt. And that's all you need. There's several other flavors in this particular brand that use sugar and other flavorings. I don't really indulge in those too often, but these Dang coconut chips are really great to keep on hand. The coconut is a little bit sweet. They're seasoned with a little bit of salt, and then the natural oil from the coconut, when it bakes up, is what gives it that kind of crisp crunch flavor. It's so satisfying. It's like a little bit addictive, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm full, I don't want any more of those. So you don't normally end up eating the whole bag, but even if you did, it's all healthy fats, and especially medium chain triglycerides, MCTs, come from coconut, and we know those are a really efficient form of fat to eat. Your body can break those down and use it for energy really easily. So coconut, whether or not it's this particular brand is up to you, but again, make sure there's no sugar, no oil, only coconut, and honestly, you can just grab chunks of coconut from some health food stores. You can make your own version of the coconut chips by buying chipped coconut, which is usually in the baking section at the grocery store, and then tossing it in the oven and toasting it lightly, probably at about 350. Keep an eye on it. Maybe about 10 minutes, it'll start to get golden brown. And then again, a nice crispy crunch, a little sweetness from the coconut, some healthy fats that we can burn as fuel. Boom, you're done. All right, so moving right along, One thing that I want to propose to you is to consider pistachios. So we know that nuts and seeds are a really great snack. I'm going to recommend pistachios in particular for late night snacking because you have to work to open them. Look, one at a time. So disclaimer, get the pistachios with the shells on them. That's the only way this works. Shelled pistachios are great, healthy source of fats, great fiber, and look, it's going to take you a second to get these babies open. So you're not going to go through as many of them as you might otherwise. You can get them salted or unsalted, whatever your preference is. But yeah, it's like fun, interactive snack food that kind of keeps you in check as it is. Another variation of nuts that I want to share with you that are actually particularly beneficial for a pre-bedtime snack are pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds contain a high amount of magnesium. One serving of pumpkin seeds contains about 50% of your daily required intake for magnesium, and that's great. So we know magnesium is beneficial for so many functions in the body, and it is one of the first minerals that we lose when we're stressed out. Going back to the previous point, life happens. Not only that though, magnesium helps us relax. It relaxes your muscle, it calms the nervous system. So pumpkin seeds are a really great choice for a late night snack. The brand that I've chosen is CB's Nuts. CB's Nuts. And these are pretty incredible to me. They actually taste like popcorn. Not gonna lie, I was pretty surprised. I know I don't personally normally like the pumpkin seeds that have the shells taken off. I don't know what the difference is for me. But these have the shells left on, so you're getting a little bit of extra fiber if you have like the pumpkin seed with the shell left on. It is edible, it's a little bit chewier, but for some reason the way these are processed, they're toasted, and they taste like popcorn, so they can be really great for movie night. And if you want to skip the popcorn, popcorn is actually a really common allergen, so if you're trying to eliminate that from your diet, it's also not paleo. Pumpkin seeds are a great option. And you can choose shells on or shells off. Let's get crazy and you choose. Pick the one that you know you're going to eat because you need that magnesium to help you calm down, and this is a really great source of it. Alright, so one last snack for the savories, and then we're going to move on to the sweet stuff. So the last one that I want to show you for savory snacks is really great if you're craving something that's kind of like a charcuterie platter, like a cured meats kind of experience, but you don't want to put that much effort into it, and those are kind of expensive anyway at the end of the day. The suggestion that I have for you is going to be using cucumber slices and putting some smoked salmon on there. I love smoked salmon. It's funny, I don't typically love a lot of seafood, but I can handle smoked salmon, probably just because it's delicious. I recommend that you choose wild-caught salmon because that's the salmon that's going to be more closely in its natural environment. It's going to get all the nutrients it needs from the ocean. It's not fed corn pellets, which a lot of farmed salmon is. So we definitely want to skip that. But another reason I love salmon is because it's so easy just to like break off a little piece. I say it's easy and then it gives me trouble, right? So I'm just ripping off a piece and look, I can just go boom, just like that, right there. And look, we're making a little platter and it's great, it's filling. So this is especially great if you forgot to eat dinner and you need something that's a little more nourishing, a little more filling. The water and the fiber from the cucumber is going to help fill you up. You get protein and healthy fats from the salmon, and it takes, I mean, literally we could do this in 30 seconds or less to throw this together. You can add a little squirt of mustard or maybe, you know, a little dollop of like cashew cream cheese if you want to get really fancy with it. But salmon is great. Omega-3 oils are great. They're really awesome for reducing inflammation. Such an easy snack. Again, no excuse to reach for something unhealthy when we have so many great easy options here for us. Okay, so now that that part's out of the way, I have a feeling a lot of people are here because they want to learn ideas and options for sweet treats to enjoy at the end of the night. Am I right? So I have a couple of suggestions for you, though there are tons of great ideas in Paleo Sweets. We have several recipes that are just a handful of ingredients and you can throw them together in about 10 minutes. And one of them I'll share with you in just a second. But the first thing I wanted to show you is this really versatile, I don't even know what to call it. It's basically chocolate almond butter. It's something that I kind of made up one day But I was like, okay, I don't want to eat any sugar right now, but I want something sweet and I need it to be filling. And so I made this mixture, and all this is, I honestly don't even measure it usually when I make it, but this is approximately half a cup of almond butter and 2 to 3 tablespoons of cacao powder or cocoa powder. And then I sweeten it with monk fruit or stevia instead of using sugar, so that it's completely sugar-free, but it still has like that sweet taste. And what it ends up being is like the consistency of a chocolate truffle. Now, again, this is really versatile. You can do a lot of different things with it, like eat it on a spoon. That's what I like to do sometimes. But if you want to get a little classier, you can measure it out by the tablespoon and scoop it onto a plate. I just have a plate that's lined with some parchment paper. And I'm just going to scoop out and make some little blobs right there. So again, I used about half a cup of almond butter. So that means we're probably going to get 6 truffles out of this. Let's see, maybe even a little bit less. But you can go ahead and measure. So I'm just kind of scooping them out, making little truffles here. I'm going to pop these in the fridge. I'm going to leave them there until they're solidified, probably like an hour to 2 hours. Maybe I'll forget about it and leave it overnight, and that's also okay. But when they are a little bit firmer, I'm going to go ahead and gather them up and put them in an airtight container, and then you can just grab one and munch on it. Again, 0 sugar, but definitely filling. You have fiber, a little bit of protein, and lots of healthy fats from the almond butter. Super easy to throw together. If you want to avoid caffeine in the evening, a couple of options would be to use what's called carob powder, C-A-R-O-B. Carob powder, carob pod, grows on a tree. It looks kind of like a giant cross between like a vanilla bean pod, but that's filled with brown lima beans. I don't know, but the beans inside aren't the edible part, it's the husk that they grind up and they make carob powder. So it has kind of a malty, chocolatey flavor, 0 caffeine, a little bit of carbohydrate, but not enough to really worry about in this instance. You can mix it up and have a similar chocolatey experience. Alternatively, you can use cinnamon. Cinnamon is a great option. If you're not really into chocolate and you want something else, you can make these cinnamon. You can even throw a few raisins in there and have like an alternative to a cinnamon raisin cookie. So super versatile and super delicious and easy. So the last thing I want to show you is like my not so guilty pleasure. My best friend and I, almost every time we have movie night, we're always like, should we make cookies? We should totally make cookies. And so what I end up doing is the recipe for these cookies is in Paleo Sweets, right here, page 139. Now they're called gluten-free vegan chocolate chip cookies. All the recipes in the cookbook are totally gluten-free and can be made dairy-free. These cookies also don't contain any egg product. And that's part of what makes them so easy to throw together. I don't eat a lot of eggs. I don't always have them on hand, but I pretty much always have the ingredients to make these cookies somehow. I don't know. I don't know how that happens. So I baked some, of course, because any excuse to bake cookies, right? And I actually just threw them together right before I hopped on here to talk to you guys. They only need to bake for about 8 to 12 minutes. They're super yummy. And they're made with almond flour. So you again get like lots of healthy protein, healthy fats. Coconut oil is in there. And they're relatively low in sugar. They're actually sweetened with maple syrup. Maple syrup has less sugar per tablespoon than honey. There's about 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup in 12 cookies. I was working this out, and so it ends up being like 2 teaspoons of maple syrup per cookie. So you can eat 2 or 3 cookies, feel good about it, and know that the healthy fats and the fiber in the almond flour and the coconut oil are actually helping slow down the absorption rate of the sugars into your system, so it all balances out, right? Now you know the science behind why it's okay to eat these gluten-free vegan chocolate chip cookies and feel good about it, so you can defend your cookie love. But these are, I just wanted to end on that note because that's one of my favorites. And again, you know, my client was mentioning that she really likes the sweet things and the cookies and the truffles and that sort of thing, so I wanted to be able to show her a couple of things. They're also in Paleo Sweets. She mentioned to me she loves ice cream as a late night snack, and I mean, who can blame her? We have a ton of great paleo-friendly ice cream recipes, super simple. For example, the honey vanilla ice cream is 5 ingredients. It's coconut milk, egg yolks, honey, vanilla, and salt. Super easy to throw together. I'm definitely known for just making a batch of ice cream and having a pint of it in the freezer for whenever I need a bite of it or two. So you can feel great about eating those desserts. You can feel great about eating these cookies. You can feel great about eating all of these snacks late at night. They're going to give you the fat. They're going to give you the protein. Those are the best things to eat in the evening because it helps keep your blood sugar stable. If you eat like a large serving of carbs at the end of the day, or like right before you go to bed, what it can do is it can cause your blood sugar to crash in the middle of the night, which is sometimes part of the reason why we wake up 2 or 3 times in the middle of our night, and then in the middle of the night, or our night. Yeah, if your blood sugar is up and down, your adrenal glands have to get involved to be able to maintain the blood sugar levels, so they give a little spurt of cortisol, and you wake up because of that. So again, the science behind why these foods are okay, why these cookies are okay, and you should totally enjoy them. So I'm really happy that I got a chance to share this with you guys today, and if you want to grab your copy of Paleo Sweets and get the recipe for these delicious chocolate chip cookies, which I am going to eat in just a second, no doubt about that. I may or may not share them, just being honest. You can grab your copy of Paleo Sweets. We're going to add the link below as soon as I'm done with this video. The cookbook is free. You just have to pay a really low shipping fee, and it is a tangible book. There's so many great recipes in here. We have carrot cake. We have, bolo polana, which is a really interesting South African cake. We have lots of cakes, apparently. Pies, more cookies, ice cream, brownies, all kinds of good stuff in here. So yeah, go ahead and grab some snacks that you can feel good about eating late at night. And keep in mind, like if you do want to reach for something sweet, you don't have almond butter on hand, you don't have time to make the cookies, grab a piece of fruit. The other thing though about this chocolate almond butter is it goes really good on apples. And apples are a great low sugar fruit to snack on. So I think that's it for me for today. I think it's time for me to enjoy my cookies. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really loved having you in my kitchen, and I will see you next time.